What's going on, guys? So in today's video we are going to be reverse leveling the Duramax, and you might click on this video and not know what that means, but basically we're going to be lowering the back to make it level with the front versus the normal where you put a leveling kit on the front to make it level with the back, which obviously that would give it a much taller look. But if you see this truck, it is extremely, which it's not on completely flat ground, but the front is very low. The bolts are all the way down, I do believe, and then the rear is extremely high. And so I definitely you know, there's two sides of it. One, you like it like this because you can raise the front up to the back, and then you got a fairly tall truck. So if we compare it to like the Silverado over here, Silverado is way taller than it, and which that allow, well, yeah, it's pretty tall. So that allows me to run these 33s no problem. So in preparation for wheels and tires on this truck, which I have ordered, but it's gonna be a good minute before they are here. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, so the two ways you can go, obviously, raise the front or lower the back. However, on this truck, like I said multiple times, going a different route than I have ever gone before. So we are putting 2-inch drop shackles on this thing. We're gonna see how far that drops the rear, and then if it doesn't drop, it's probably not gonna drop it as much as the front is, which I'm fine with that. We're gonna then raise the front to match the back. So dropping that just is going to allow us not to have to bring the front up super high, because luckily on these trucks you just have the torsion keys, you can crank them up. It really doesn't cost you anything. Obviously there's going to be some suspension components up here on the front we're going to want to upgrade, but first things first, we're going to want to really just give it a decent stance. I mean, it's going to look kind of goofy on these wheels and tires anyways, but I want to kind of get an idea. Obviously when we get the wheels and tires in, probably gonna have to play with it a little bit in order to get them to fit properly. So that is my idea. We are going to do the 2-inch drop shackles, drop the butt down a little bit, and then raise the front up if need be, you know, depending on how much it needs to go up. Jacob's truck is literally stock in the rear just like this, and then his torsion bar is cranked up all the way, and I still think the back of his truck is just a touch higher, and I want this truck to be perfectly level. So I know some people are probably already like, oh no, he's gonna freaking squat it. No, it's not going to be like the Silverado, which it's on a little dip, you know, for the haters that are like super upset right now. It's in a little dip. See, it's not that squatted all the time. Dang, that dog pee. Anyways, so another thing is, and like I said, this truck is sitting on a little hill and a little angle, but I absolutely love that from a distance, you can only see the very bottom of these tips hanging out. And I absolutely just love that look. I just love the lower rear. However, on this thing, with it being just ginormous, and yes, tailgate's off for now, you can see all that exhaust pipe, you can see all the rear end. This will just look so much better with the back drop down, covering all that up, and just this big old exhaust tip hanging out. All I know is we're gonna have to be careful backing up onto parking spots and stuff with this monster exhaust tip once we do this, because it might actually be low enough to hit, which is kind of sad, but yeah. So we're definitely fixing to lower the back in order to get it looking a lot better, and it's going to do a lot better. So I don't know if I'm going to film the whole process. I might, because there's not a ton of videos on it on YouTube, but basically what we're going to be doing is dropping the hitch, putting the truck up on some jack stands on the frame, and then taking out these shackles, putting the drop shackles in, and then seeing how she looks. So I'm gonna pull it back in the garage. We're gonna get some height measurements, see exactly how high she is, and that way we'll know exactly what these shackles do and how much we've gained and how much we will have to raise the front if we do. So I guess with all that being said, let's pull her inside and get to work. All right, so we're looking at 41 inches height on the back. 38 on the front. All right, guys, so we're gonna take the bolts off of the hitch, 2 there, and then I don't know if y'all can see 3 down the straightaway, and we're just gonna bust those off and take your plug in out, obviously take all those off, and then we'll drop the hitch out. All right, so we got the truck supported with some jacks. Hopefully this is up high enough It's already let back down. Hopefully it's up high enough where I can swap this out and not have any issues. But we're gonna get to pulling those two bolts out, hopefully not run into any issues with getting the bolts out, and then swapping the shackles out. We got, I'll show you the little way that I did it. I don't know if it's good, bad, or what, but the way that I got them out, we'll see if it works out in the end. Just put a little grease in there. This thing's almost empty, so we'll get some more, but let's go ahead and throw this bad boy in there. Alright guys, so it definitely looks so much better with the back end drop some. Makes the exhaust look even better. It's tucked away real nice. Tip still fit perfectly, but it is closer, so it's perfect. I'll have to get a measurement to see how much it dropped it, but dropped it pretty good. So it is looking so much better. I gotta put that fender liner back in there, but that just helped so much. So much more sleek and not goofy looking now. I'll probably bring the front up just a touch, but I probably won't do that until I get the wheels and tires in. That way I can get it exactly perfect. But man, that really makes it look so much better right there. Alright guys, so I got the tape measure. We're all lowered on the ground and everything, and in all honesty, I think the truck's sagging a little bit to the driver's side. I looked under there. Bolts aren't quite exactly alike. Obviously, you know, older truck, plus probably had the front end changed at some point as far as the ride height. So it's I'm gonna get under there and make sure the front end is perfectly level. But we're at 41, so there we are. So honestly, about 2.5 inch drop. So that is freaking sweet. And let me turn the flashlight on. Ow. And I will show y'all what the shackles look like. All right, so there is our shackles. I'll put a link in the description to what brand they are and everything, but they are pretty simple. The big key to putting these in easily is do them both at the same time. So I know a lot of people like doing them one at a time. It keeps the axle straight, as you know, as far as I know, with cars and stuff, my experience whenever you're doing something like that, whether it be like on my last car when you're doing the solid rear axle bushings, people do them one at a time to keep it centered. That way you don't really knock it out of alignment. Feel like it's probably different on something with a straight axle, but yeah. So people were saying in other videos that I watched that little nipple up there would get in the way of the bolt, and that is 100% true if you do them one at a time. But if you go ahead and get your jack centered on the axle so it picks them up evenly, you can raise these up and they will go all the way up to the bed, and the bolts will slide right over the top, no problem. And so this was a super easy install. Honestly, probably the easiest thing I've done install-wise in a while. So, like I said, pretty easy. Everything seems to be clearing good. Just take them both out. You just jack the truck up to where you like hold this bolt. Once you can take all the bolts off prior to lifting it or whatever. It's not gonna do anything. Kind of just hold it like this. Push some pressure on it, take your jack, and obviously you've got the frame supported by jack stands. You just slowly lift it or let it down depending on how you have it. And whenever you feel this start to free up, just stop and just make very slight adjustments up or down, and it'll just slide right out. Once you got the bottom one out, just lift the axle all the way up on both sides, lift the axle all the way up over the rail, and then the bolts will just slide right out. Put these babies in, lower it back down, and she's ready to roll. So I am really liking the stance already, and we're gonna get the front end perfectly lined up where it's perfectly even on here, front to back and side to side. So once we do that, this thing is gonna be sweet. I'm really excited. It looks 1,000 times better with the butts not sticking up 10 miles in the air. And honestly, even like driving, when you level a truck, front and raising the front or lowering the back, it just feels so much better inside driving. So I think we're gonna have to raise the front up just a little bit, get it even, and should be sick. So I do have a couple of front end components that we were gonna upgrade, but I'm probably gonna wait until I get my wheels, which is gonna be a little while. They're ordered, but they gotta make them, so yeah. But I don't really want to do too much with the front suspension until we get those in, because I need to know how high I'm gonna have to raise it in order to clear them. And last thing I want to do is do a whole bunch of front end changes, go get an alignment, and then have to change it all and go get another alignment, because I hate going to the alignment shop. But yeah, and if it is too much at this height, no, I'm not going to squat this truck. I know a lot of people are concerned about that. But if it needs to be taller to clear what I'm getting, then we do have the adjustability to raise the back up by 1 inch with those drop shackles. So no big deal. We'll get it level and we'll get everything to clear one way or another. So definitely excited. Hopefully you did enjoy. Maybe you learned something. I know it wasn't a full install, but you know, hit the high points, and if you're mechanically inclined whatsoever and have the right tools, should not be a, I don't know, an hour install easily. So definitely leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about reverse leveling your truck rather than just cranking the front end all the way and ruining your CV angles, similar to baby squat. But on this truck, I don't think I want to do that in case we ever want to get a little four-wheel drive happy. So yeah, definitely, like I've said a million times in this video, doing things different than I ever have before, and so far she's coming out great. So absolutely loving this build, and hopefully people don't get triggered by the build, got headlights. But anyways, with all that being said, hopefully you did enjoy. I'll catch you on the next video.
You're gonna like my video better.
What's up? It's Me for Speed. What's poppin'? We've got the brand new LBZ rolling out of the club. We just put air suspension lift on it. We're doing right things.
Is gonna be starting to look.
Boy, turn that garbage off.